Hey guys, welcome to Choke Points. In this video, we are going to talk about India Australia trade. By the way, I'm still a little bit sick, I'm recovering, so please bear with me. Yes, so India and Australia had signed a comprehensive free trade agreement 3 years ago, and just recently, actually, India's Union Minister of Commerce, he actually announced certain things about India-Australia trade, where Australia is talking about removing 100% tariffs on duties on all the 100% of the tariff lines. What all that really means, and is this going to be good enough for India to offset the 50% tariff from the US, because US happens to be the largest trading partner. All right. So let's talk about this thing and see where it's headed and what else in the pike for India down the line. All right. and let's figure it out. Let's see what it is. And please do like and subscribe. It's not going to be a very long video. So stay with me till the end and let's get going. Okay. Let me first of all share this video, share this screen with you, okay? Real quick. And there it is. All right. So what he is saying is this, that as we mark the third anniversary of India Australia Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement, we celebrate a partnership that has translated intent into impact. Over the past 3 years, the agreement has delivered sustained export growth, deeper market access, and the stronger supply chain resilience, benefiting Indian exporters, MSMEs, the small businesses basically, farmers, and workers alike. Now, key wins under the deal have been India's exports to Australia grew by 8% in year 24-25, improving India's trade balance. Strong gains are witnessed across manufacturing, chemicals, textiles, plastics, pharmaceuticals, petroleum products, and gems and jewelry. Okay. Now, agri exports recorded broad based growth with sharp increases in fruits and vegetables, marine products, spices, exceptional growth in coffee. Now, gems and jewelry exports rose 16% in April to November 2025, and then mutual recognition arrangement MRA on organic products was signed, marking a major milestone enabling seamless trade and lowering compliance costs for exporters. From January 1st, 2026, 100% Australian tariff lines will be zero duty for Indian exports. This is the key part here. This is what actually seems to be a very big deal. Rest are the numbers. Like, for example, the export grew by 8%, then jewelry export rose 16%. And I think lots of it's because of this jewelry export. And then now, 8% actually is not a very big deal when it comes to India Australia trade, because India Australia does not have a very huge trade volume as compared to what India US trade is. Okay. So it's not even in double digits, quite frankly. So now, so from January, this 100% Australian tariff lines will be zero duty for Indian exports, unlocking fresh opportunities for labor intensive sectors. Okay. So, as comprehensive economic cooperation agreement CISA negotiations advance, India Australia ECTA continues to anchor India's economic engagement in the Indo Pacific, aligned with Make in India and the vision of Viksit Bharat. Together, India and Australia are building a future of shared prosperity and trusted trade. Fair enough. So basically, what Mr. Piyush Goyal here he did is that he just gave an overview of India Australia trade and what it is right now in 2025. Okay, that's what he did. But the main point that he said over here is uh, this part right here. from January 2026, 100% Australian tariff lines will be zero duty for Indian exports. What does that really mean? That's the important part, right? So what does it mean is that there are tariff lines. What are tariff lines? Tariff lines are basically, as you can say, that category. There are different categories of products. Okay, so category A, category B. Like for example, let me draw it. Okay, category A, B, C, D, E. These are all different categories of products. Okay, this will have one tariff line. This will have its own tariff system. It will have, this one will have own tariff line. This will have its own tariff line, and this will have its own tariff line. Now now let's say India exports to, hold on a second, let me, yeah, there you go. Now let's say India exports to Australia. What the products in A, B, C, and E tariff line. Okay, let's say India exports in these tariff in these categories. Now let's not call tariff line yet. Mhm. Now out of these, uh, and India does not sell say category D product to Australia. Okay, now here in A, for example, A has 100% duty. There is 0% duty on Indian products. B, there is 0% duty on Indian products. Then E, maybe let's say there is 1% or 2% duty on E category of products. Okay. So what this statement right here is saying is that in this category E of products, from here on, whatever the 2% or 1% that duty was there, we will remove that duty as well. Okay, that's what this whole entire thing is saying. Otherwise, in between India and Australia, most of the tariff lines are already duty free. Okay, now so does what is that a big deal? That's the question, right? Because yeah, all that trade is going on and all that, but what exactly does this really mean? If we don't know the trade volume, what's the number, all that, then we cannot just say that, hey, yeah, this is a very good thing or bad thing. See, the thing is that give take, I think India exports to Australia what almost say maybe 8 to 9 billion dollars, give take $8 to $9 billion. There was a trade balance of $6 billion, and now out of which basically what they were selling was like engineering products, pharma was like $500 million, then engineering goods 1.254 or something along those lines. Then gems were almost 3 to 400 million. I'm just giving you a rough estimate of it, all right? So and then main thing was the refined petroleum. Australians don't have a, what you call it, Australians don't have a uh, refinery. Okay, and then they don't have any oil well or anything as such. So of course, they have to purchase the refined crude oil. Okay, refined oil, not the crude. Okay, so that's what India exports to Australia, which is worth $4.4 billion almost. Okay, now you have to understand why this is going on and why Australia all of a sudden removed the tariffs too. Whatever duties were there, little bit, is because the petroleum product that India sells to Australia, they are pretty cheap too compared to other sources. And this product comes from Russian oil. In whatever Russian oil India imports, Australia is one of the many customers of it. That's why Australia never said a word that, hey, we don't like what India is doing. Australia never said that. Even heck, European unions never said anything except for America. Okay, so I think that's an attempt that probably Indian government made, uh, and made an attempt with Australia to negotiate this whole thing, that, hey, see, we are doing this thing, and because of which we have been tariffed, now we are looking for alternatives so that we can offset the damage. and you are you are one of the stakeholders. You are one of the stakeholders who is enjoying our cheap product. So can you please help us now with the cut, with that, with whatever duty is there? I think that they may bring it down probably $1 or $2 billion, like that. Um, but India will have to increase its trade volume with Australia in order to really do something. Okay, but this is more like I would say finding the alternative rather than replacing the American market or as such. Because that's more like a diversification lever than anything else. All right. So that's what is going on with this whole thing, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in another video. Take care.